My shit ready.
Yo ho ho! What's going on, man? Oh, look, bruh. The audio got fucked up. We've had like a 15 hours. We had a 15-hour stream before this, bro. We had dissected everything, bro. Nakaba even called us up, told us what was really up with the shit, bro. Oda even called us up, bro. Told us the One Piece wasn't shit, bro. Like, we all dropped all that info on that podcast, but it's corrupted, dog. Like, fuck the secrets to the One Piece, the fucking who's gonna become the next Demon King. All that shit's done, bro. But that nigga told us not to say it again, so we can't give it to y'all right now. Like, y'all niggas gonna have to read it and find out. But fuck, I'm sorry, y'all boys, but it's all right. In the meantime, I got Griever, Kishin Prime, Nia D. Hemmings, Soraya, Vengeful Eagle.
Yo.
What's good, man? What's up?
What's up?
What's
Grimm.
really good?
Grimm, you didn't forget.
Oh, wait. We should forget
This is how much I hate you. This is how much I hate you.
Oh shit! All right, guys. So 291 was a controversial as fuck chapter. Unfortunately, Seven Sama gave us an exceptionally trash translation, but we've been able to recuperate with the manga stream. Even though we got that better translation, we're still having disputes in different sides and viewpoints. So through the chapter, we're gonna address the Merlin issue. Even though it's not really an issue, we're gonna address it, and we're gonna talk about this great chapter, man. But first off, ratings and quick ideas on what happened. Zarsa, what's up?
First things first, fuck you, Grimm. You didn't even fucking introduce me in the beginning. Like, I'm not gonna forget shit. Don't act like you're brand new. Like,
That's not nobody. It's okay. He got a My Hero Abby. Mid Hero.
My Hero Heavy. What the fuck are you
10,
doing?
Out of 10, give it a 7. Merlin was pretty lit this chapter. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck Kusak. You killed Arthur. This is what you deserve. You deserve to look like a little bitch on panel, and it's good that Merlin's turning him into one. I'm happy, honestly. I don't really have anything else to say.
All right. Next up.
Hey, you're next.
I gave in my personal review on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. It was a 0.5 out of 10. I only gave it 0.5 because the end of the battle is that this trash is now over, and we're gonna move on to bigger and better things in a series that I love.
This nigga just called it trash.
The
best
chapter
fight.
Overall art style and everything was fine. The choreography of the fight was fine. It was the explanations and the ass pulls that I had a serious problem with. So yeah, all the Pokemon references and stuff, and the Game Shark Exodia cheat codes, they gotta go.
Hey,
and,
creditless niggas finna get exposed in this stream today. They finna get exposed.
Kishin, go.
Anybody that watches my channel knows that I don't really give ratings anymore because, well, I just suck at it. So here's more suck for you. 8 out of 10 because, well, I just enjoyed it. I acknowledge the problems. Some of the continuity issues are there that I wasn't even aware of because I'm the forgetful one and Merlin is the broken one. And that's about all I have to say.
Naya?
All right.
Mid.
4 out of
Mid.
10. 4 out of 10.
Mid.
4 out of 10, right?
Mid.
Easily the worst chapter of Taizai
Greatest chapter.
that I have ever read.
hold on.
Shut the fuck up, Zarso. Let's
Whoa!
speak.
Stop interrupting! No.
Shut up.
Now
Shut
gets
up.
his shot.
He was corrupted.
This your mid-hero Abby. You better respect me.
Dude,
Power God out.
He's got the D.
The
He's got
King
the D.
Jihad is speaking. 3 orders are coming. You better respect me. Alright. So, I'm gonna keep it brief, right? I have a lot of issues with Merlin and the writing surrounding her, and the way Nabaka is trying to get me to accept that this makes sense. It's not. It's nonsensical. And as a person who has literally studied various forms of media, including lots of literature, and a writer, I'm insulted because this is not it. I understand that you can have a character like this, and generally when you do, for me, they need to be extremely fun and exciting in the same vein as an Escanor. Escanor's hype. He brings the heat quite literally, and I love it. Praise the sun. My issue with this is it sounds like Hunter x Hunter Word document X Word document level of nonsense of why I was able to win the fight with my magic Bruce Wayne utility belt. And I'm not giving that to you guys. One of the worst chapter. If not, honestly, it's probably in recent memory. This is the worst chapter of Taizai I read. It might not literally be. It could be one of the worst, but for me to say I didn't see it coming, I'd be a liar. I saw it coming. I knew better, and it still happened. That's all I have to say for now. Y'all go.
Soraya?
I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. To me, it was just a decent chapter, not great. I am okay with the Merlin thing, even though it's just a little out there for me. It's,
See that? Look at that. See that?
Thing that-
Here with sound judgment. Sound judgment.
The thing that I am happy about is the battle is over. We have the mile reveal, so that's good. That's done. That's what makes me happy. Things can move on, move forward.
Okay.
That's fair.
Eagle.
Hey man, I like the chapter. I don't know. It was anticlimactic for me because being a Chandler fanboy,
Hell yeah! Tell him twice.
More, they kind of were like, all right, we about to do it to him, and then they immediately got put down. So it was cool to see. It was kind of anticlimactic because I'm like, what the hell? And she just got done talking about how their true power has been sealed away, which I find more of. But to me, the thing is that it's neither here nor there about it because there are really no hard explanations as to the parameters of her ability as far as what she has the infinity on and things there's no. I think everybody just took it and kind of ran with it, but it was oh, she's got infinite mana pool, but it's.
The joke is, I didn't even know what the low key. It's just nonsense.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
No. Hold up now. You get your turn. You creditless fuck. You get your turn.
You gotta pull back on that chant.
Yeah, go ahead, Eagle.
Down, boy, down.
Oh, was that an Eagle?
Oh, I was just saying, there's really no hard guidelines as to what she can do with the infinity. I mean, she could potentially take it and really apply it to whatever she wants, especially how we understand as a one-time a cast.
How convenient? How fucking convenient is that?
Sit down.
It's never been presented any differently. What's the issue?
We'll get into that later. All right. In my opinion, I thought the chapter was a 9 out of 10. The Margaret fan service was exceptional. I've take back after take back
Happy it's
after
Ludishell
take
on
back. It's
That's what it is. It's just
the titties were what I wanted.
That's why
There was
if it
Hold on.
was just Margaret, it'd be like, eh.
confirmed.
From big C.
I thought that well, yeah, like I was saying, the fan service for Margaret hasn't been failing at all, and this is another instance of exceptional work done. Merlin also had some fan service in there too. It just like every other chapter, I was very appreciative of Nakaba. I think these guys are exceptionally creditless in terms of what the understanding of the chapter was. I think that, especially Naya in particular, he's taking his exceptional and superior knowledge of literature skills. He himself has studied it, gone to school for it. So please, in terms of knowledge for what you guys like to read, books, novels, light novels, comics, manga, anime, whatever it is, check out Naya D. Hemi's channel. Exceptional content. I think he just reached 700 recently too. That's that nigga. But in terms of Taizai and Merlin, creditless as fuck.
Credits as fuck.
From the beginning.
I still have no good point. Just shut up.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
You had one good point.
Better choice.
Just
One good.
Yo, bro, hold on, bro. Hold on. You finish that shit, dog. Niggas, hold on, bro. I didn't have a problem with Merlin, did. I thought the manga stream translation. Please check that out, guys. Instead of viewers, did an exceptional job of explaining what actually occurred. After a consecutive reread, I understood what's going on, and that's why I don't have a problem with it. I think that these guys really have a problem with how open or how this character was portrayed in the beginning, and how consequently in consecutive chapters we're seeing what it truly means to be that. In the beginning, we were shown that she really is broken. We were told that she literally has all the spells. She's able to learn all the spells all demonic spells. She has protection by two gods, and she has the ability to use these spells and cast them as many times as she wants continuously. So by those parameters in a story like
Can I
this,
ask you one thing?
yeah.
Does that make an interesting character to you? A character that has all the tools necessary in a battle shonen. I always say Taizai is a battle shonen disguised as a love story or a saint or shoujo, whatever you want to call it, the case may be, because of the romance theme that's very prevalent and strong that a lot of people seem to ignore. But do you think that the character, a la Bruce Wayne in a sense, with all the capability? The thing about it is not even Bruce Wayne, because at least Bruce Wayne has no powers. That has the tools and ability to deal with quite literally anything. Create an interesting character.
Yes. Because of how she's been used in this story in particular. Normally, the examples that you're giving do break most character modes and do affect stories continuously. I think the example that we should be harping on is Escanor, not Merlin. Escanor has been continuously been alluded to having failings or not giving the full mystery of his story, which is good too. Mystery's always good in a story, but for how many things that he's solving, it doesn't necessarily add up. It's an exceptional job that he's intertwined with the main storyline of Mael and that occurrence and the curse. But in terms of Merlin, I think we were giving a pretty solid blueprint of what she could do, and Nakaba's done an exceptional job of introducing us to the story, introducing new spells into the story through her. Like, that's a very acceptable means. I don't think any of us would question that she knows a lot of spells, so that's something that's always been done good with her. Her placement amongst the sins, it's we see her allegiance in terms of her feelings. She's never really overwhelmed niggas that are she's encounters in a fight 1v1, because we don't get to see that often for her. She doesn't play that role as often, if you guys have noticed.
Disagree the whole stream. That's crazy.
We are, because hold on. The last point that I'll make is that because we all understand that in the beginning she was given this broken blueprint, we should also expect that when the stakes get higher, she's gonna be able to cope with things, or she should be able to show things as well. It's like, for example, when King fought the Albion compared to when he fought Chandler or whatever, he stepped it up. He stepped it up, didn't he? Right? So against the two strongest demons, and then
Demon King said,
and the Demon King's son,
she'd be like, nah.
It makes sense as to why she's doing something so powerful. But
Amen.
let's I think we've all given our ideas. Let's hop into the chapter.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go through the chapter, and we'll touch on the specific points when we touch on them.
No doubt. Right. So let's start on page 1.
So basically, when I can talk shit, let me know. Until then, I'm silent.
We'll let you know when the chains come off, Niall. We'll let you know.
So I think we see we see one of the
room because you go crazy.
We see one of the fairy goblins behind Merlin on the cover page, and she's all skimpily dressed and shit. Some more fan, bro. The fan service.
A towel.
You know that's Escanor under there.
Yeah, exactly.
He wishes it was him under there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh boy. All right, and then Pete popping and shit. So, all right, Vengeful, I want you to elaborate on this. I don't know if your quality's back up, but I am super hyped about Chandler too. And when they got these displays, that was also badass. So, could you elaborate on why you were so like disappointed, or if you've been disappointed in this fight in general?
I mean, I just would like to see Chandler do more. I mean, they're just their portrayal as far as their position in the forces of the Demon Clan has been shit on, in my opinion. And I mean, he's done
facts. He going.
Stop.
Compared to when they first dropped, right? When they fucking shit
No,
on everyone else?
let Eagle talk. Let Eagle talk.
I'm just saying.
He
Go ahead.
came out and he literally shut down Escanor's form and had all of them on the ropes. And ever since then, he really just has kind of been a joke, I feel like. As far as what he's been, it's just not. It hasn't been the move for me. I mean, right when he came out, his personality, the way he was like giggling and goofy and laughing and like, oh, I love Meliodas summer. I was with him. I'm like, oh, Chandler's the goat. We here. And ever since then, not only has he lost the thing I loved most about his character, like the quirkiness and shit, but he's been fucking trash. He hasn't been doing anything.
And he's basically Master Roshi.
It's pissing me off, frankly. I mean, I really don't care about Cusack because fuck Zeldarus and whatnot. But yeah,
All right, now we. I don't know where that came from. Now you a bitch ass. Now you a bitch ass. Now you a
Give it to him. Yeah.
Hey, fuck everything you just said.
Those chains are rattling.
That's crazy.
I respected his plight.
That's
Alright.
crazy.
They're both subjected to servitude by the Demon King, and I.
Gelda out. I ain't trying to hear that.
True.
Can I elaborate on
Please.
something that Eagle said? I too am a huge fan of Chandler, and I actually enjoy Cusack as well, especially all the hype they've been getting in the latest chapters. They gained a lot of hype. One of my biggest problems with the chapter, outside all the Merlin stuff, so nobody fucking creamed their panties yet, is the fact of the matter is that we were hyping up these guys, and during the battle they basically got pushed to the side to showcase Zeldris and his abilities, which is fine. But then when it was their time to shine in this chapter, they basically, I don't see this original magical power that was alluded to. I don't see the strongest, fastest, greatest demons that stand above the Ten Commandments. I don't see that. And the problem is that I like the characters. I want to see their hype moments. It's not that I'm not rooting for Escanor and Merlin's group. It's that I want to see good villains kick some ass, and I don't think we've seen it. I think this was a disappointment from their character perspective.
Let me elaborate about something, because this is weird, and I think two of you have mentioned this. Why do you guys think the fight is over?
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my question too.
You said that, and Soraya said it, and I think Eagle said that too.
Naya said it too.
And Naya said it
Because
too.
it's over.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
You guys are.
Oh, we got the bet for the week. Hey, viewers, check it out below. Hold on, sorry. So, hashtag. We're gonna tag hashtag. What is it for today? Fuck. What should we do? Oh, hashtag Merlin. Hashtag Merlin, and the question's gonna be, is the fight over? And then next week, whoever gets the right vote or whoever comments correctly, you'll get a shout out in the podcast. And in the Discord too, you'll give you $50,000 if you vote correctly in the polls. So check that out. Is the fight over or not? Please continue.
Low.
Zarso,
I
go.
definitely think it's over.
Oh, it's me? Yeah. Yeah, that's my thing. Are you absolutely out of your... Okay, I understand that, yes. Because of how crazy things have gotten, it seems like some characters that were definitely hyped up, say the Demon Clan themselves, it seems like they all kind of like got pretty fucked up pretty quickly. But here's the thing: you just had Zeldris take on Escanor and get like almost whooped. The thing is, Zeldris almost flipped the script. He was like he was like not even like a couple seconds away, like practically a second away from literally flipping the script and ending Escanor.
In a second, bro. He finna fuck that nigga.
Literally a second away from fucking taking on Escanor. And then you have Merlin through, who's already wholly broken. He's already dealt with one of the greatest demons at one point in time and already got flexed on before. I don't think she wants to get caught with her pants down again. So she fucked up these guys now. But it's like the fight's not over. They're just getting mixed up real good.
Tell him,
like,
boy.
The Demon Clan, no, hold on. The Demon Clan have always been shown to go through some of the most craziest fights. And they still come out, kicking. Now this is like one of like the greatest, like the prime examples. You think these guys are down right now? It just looks bad, but the story is going to continue. Like the matter of the fact is, Merlin, like compared to everything that's going on right now, like this chapter, like it's good, but like next chapter is probably going to be a bit more hype. Because let's be honest now, again, like the Holy War is like not. It's not going to end in the next five chapters, guys. It's just not how it's going to. Next 5 chapters, we're still gonna be fighting. Next 10 chapters are probably still gonna be fighting.
I'll put money on that too. We'll make the bet. I think Soraya or who was trying to talk next?
I don't know.
Soraya?
I mean,
What?
This nigga.
What's up?
What did you think? Is the fight over, or why did you say the fight was over?
Well, this particular fight, I think, is over. I think it's going to move into something completely new next, like whatever the next threat is or whatever. That's what's happening next. Either it's Meliodas getting like out of his cocoon or whatever. Something new is going to happen, and it's going to change everything. That's my opinion, though. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think we should honestly just like let the chins off of Naya, and then essentially just debate him.
No,
Yeah, I'm in his corner, man. If he's Adonis Creed, I'm fucking Rocky Balboa standing in his corner.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh,
Unless you're just like fucking lemon, then we can just debate that.
we got some more fan service too right underneath that. Were you guys cool with the You guys were complaining about the whole lightning and wind deficiencies. Give your opinions about that right now. Just that.
Naya and me, or
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we playing Pokemon now. That's what we're doing.
You already know my opinion on that.
Like,
Yeah.
like
I want to hear him.
Yeah, no,
earlier
yeah,
someone
after
brought
you.
up that like Arc and Dark. Apparently, Arc and Dark case demons and the angels.
Hold
They're
on, you
not
cut out, bro.
real elements. We got the fire to whatever, and I was just like I said, maybe I didn't remember it correctly. I couldn't think of a single instance where I'm like, where's someone like was like, haha, because of my wind. You are weak against my wind. Grass type, I'm a flying type. Like you will take double damage.
Guardian.
Where I was like,
Guardian's
for you
weak
to just be
against
like,
ice.
Yo, what?
Guardian is weak against ice.
What the fuck is Guardian?
Second form of Testy Forward.
All right, well there you go. But for me, it was like to be like, okay, what I'm gonna do now with these quote unquote, and it's just like if you just didn't build them up the chapter before to be like, haha, they're just invincible because they're just super strong. It's like no, they're not strong. I gotta hit them with you. See, you're a grass type. See, you a water type. And I'm just like, I was like, come on, like,
yeah, if
you
it-
really.
if-
So this should have been a normal type.
You really want me to just take this and be like, yeah, that was completely understandable, respectable, very well telegraphed, and yeah, I'm super okay with the strongest two demons aside from quote unquote the Demon King, who trained Melios and Zeldris, just got taken out by a magic utility belt. Yes,
super
that is
effective.
that is just fantastic.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'll-
You might as
I'll-
well have Natsu come and yell, we're going back to fairy
Bro,
tale
stay-
and win with some fucking
All right,
brilliant dragon,
but-
whatever the fuck.
And before the other guys get into it, I'll just reiterate Naya's point there about this is just the simple fact that it feels like Pokemon, and if it had been established more, I'm not saying it's not there. I believe Zarso brought up the fact that technically a form of arc magic from Elizabeth worked on Hendrickson, and that was super effective. I don't think that was really stated.
Oh no, yeah, no. Hold on, that's different. There are indeed attribute efficiencies. Demon magic does work more effective against angels. The same.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
continue.
that's fine. That's demon magic versus angel magic, whatever. But the point of the fact is that she used elemental, which I would argue, and she even stated the 4 major elements, and I would argue that those are fire, earth, water, air.
I don't even know what I'm doing, but it worked.
So the point of the matter is that the fact
Yeah,
if
time.
we had seen people like Hauser or Gilthunder or a fire user or somebody like continuously like against the 10 Commandment, like, oh well, that's not going to work on me. Alan said, my armor, my body is armor, and it like lightning won't affect it or something. It's not a good conductor or something. If we had seen more examples of it, it wouldn't be such an asshole. But for me to bring down, as I said before, the hype of these two showing up, original power, they're going to unlock their seals, they're going to be all up in that shit, to be taken down by an elemental weakness that wasn't fleshed out. It might have been established in a couple of small minor tier battles,
trend wasn't
but it
fleshed
was
out.
not. It was not an established, fleshed out thing that elemental weakness was.
Well, that's consistent for a lot of points though, because like we were having the argument in the Discord the other day that like people were discussing what was it that scarred Bond permanently, and it was told to us in the series that it was Hellblaze, and then we got more information.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Hellfire.
Yeah. Hellblaze was the technique that did that, and then we saw more instances of Hellblaze, and then we were even told that Hellblaze is an indistinguishable technique, and it doesn't go out until it burns its target, and it also has anti-human capabilities. So we were told these things, but they're never referenced again, and oftentimes they don't do the same exact thing because of the different instances, whether it's against demons or things like that. When we see different types of attributes or different types of like the whole attribute tree and shit, like you were pointing out, Naya, like lightning on water and then shit like that is indeed existent in Taizai. That's there. It's just there's not a big emphasis on it. It's not important. We all know.
I think this is all going to be like foreshadowing because they picked lightning and wind
Yes.
specifically. So we're going to see Gil Thunder and Hauser freaking kick some ass.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, it was specific to Soraya's right, but Grimm, my argument to that is that if you were going to set up 2 of the strongest demons in the verse in a major battle that is front page news in more than one chapter, it should have been relevant. It should have been brought to the forefront.
I agree.
We should have more foreshadowing.
You hype them up to the high hell to be like, oh yeah, you're done. You're done. Next chapter.
That's the only part I agree with.
There was
The
no
fact
payoff.
the fact
There
that
was no payoff for my investment.
Can I
with
just
these
ask,
guys.
if Merlin had pulled this shit, on the hypeness that was Chandler and Cusack, if she had pulled this shit when Geldris was all bong kai at the end of 288 or whatever chapter it was, if he had done that, and then Merlin went, fuck Omnibus Nebula, fuck the ruler, I got this, I'm gonna pull.
No, you wouldn't have. No, you would have said the same thing. You were saying that before that, bro. It's on the Boar hat. Before the fight started, we were here on the Boar hat, and both of y'all were talking about Merlin's gonna do some broken shit already. You guys already had preconceived notions of the broken shit. Naya himself has, on several streams, actually pointed out that she makes him very uncomfortable in terms of the scaling for Taizai, in terms of like the red herrings and the different types of literature traits that could be used negatively in Taizai. He's mentioned that several times, bro. So for me, in my opinion, bro, as being y'all niggas, is y'all being my niggas and me being y'all's niggas, I for a fact know there's a bias fucking arrow in y'all knee shit, bro. I know for a fact y'all niggas, oh, that's Merlin? The titty's big, but fuck it. I know y'all niggas think like that. I know y'all niggas think like that,
What
bro.
is this?
So you brought it up. He brought it up best, I think, when he said, like, for us, it was borderline, but it was acceptable. Like, it was getting to that fairy tale level. Like, okay, this is getting a little broken, a little ridiculous, but okay, we can stomach it. And this chapter just jump into the deep end. You've never been in water before.
I'm gonna be real. I think I was just trying to rationalize by finding reasons to accept why it was sensible and it made sense. But when this happened last week, and I'm like, oh, she about to pull the ultimate BS, and it literally happened. I'm like, no, I'm not letting this go. I'm not tripping. I'm fucking right. Just stop. This is literally this is literally the biggest issue with Taizai, and it's fucking Merlin and how she's been written. And okay, we can say a lot of this was established, but to have a character like this, to me, is not good for your story unless it's meant to be comedic. The reason why I love Saitama literally undercutting all suspense when he pulls up, because it's funny, because he don't really care to that degree. Like, yo, I'm trying to make these groceries, kill a mosquito. He got other things he's thinking about with his bald ass head, and he out here like, I'm gonna wash you while I'm thinking about a grocery sale. Like, that's funny. That's hilarious.
Merlin is not Saitama, and that's the problem. She is not a gag character. She's in a serious.
But I'm gonna take another character that does this. That actually bothers me. I love Noblesse. Raziel Estramadi, Cadesti Stram, whatever. Raziel is a great character. I like him. He's dope.
At this point,
undercuts all the suspense and drama when he pulls up, because you know nobody can mess with him. He's the Noblesse. He's the strongest motherfucker in the Noblesse universe in this manhwa on this webtoon. When he pulls up, you unconsciously relax, like, oh, it's done. We're good. What's gonna happen next arc? You think it's kind of like that. Like, remember I explained that out of all the people here, from Zeldris to Scanner to whatever the case may be, I said I was the least worried about Merlin.
Yeah.
Why? You know now why I said that. And you can pull it up because I know it's on stream.
No, it is. It is. The only thing I'll let you go in a second, Sarto. But the only thing that I will agree with you with is that to take down is the hype that Chandler was given and the Cusack was given does not match the feat that she just had. For them to be of that pinnacle, it really makes us think, like, or it makes me push and really, really lean on completely the fact that he gave her all the knowledge. All this, she literally says in the volume translation, all the secrets of the demon realm and knowledge amongst all the arts and secret spells and shit like that. Like, it's so vague that I could just use that. And I agree, like, when you put it in that terms, it is a trope and it is used in that manner, 100%. But I have to go back to the point that we've seen this bitch fight maybe 3 times in 291 chapters. It's not that, like, she really, like, pivots the story at all.
But it's always been overwhelming, and then someone's gonna inevitably say, but what about when Galen turned to stone? Well, she fucking somehow forgot that she was immune to like miss me with that nonsense. But BS.
And it didn't kill her, so.
I believe she. That even Gallon took her by surprise. She was expecting him to kind of just fucking jump up on top of her like that, and kind of it's like, oh. So it proves that she can be open. Like you can't just get up all like get all up on her shit.
You're not. I'm not giving you that. No.
You don't have to. You don't have because now it's my turn to talk finally. I'm really happy about this actually. I just realized. It actually is because Grimm literally said that after he was done, he gave me the floor. So now that I have the floor, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can sit the fuck down.
Shut up, you ape.
All right, so we got this off tangent just by fucking talking about the lightning and thunder spell. So
we did.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip a few panels because we already talked about it. All right, quick evaluation. Double impact. So it was explained as a technique that the first part probes and the second part weakens whatever it found. So if it finds that you're weak to bananas, then the second attack will make sure that you're weaker to bananas. And when you add infinity to that, apparently it continues to make you weaker. So we know why the lightning balls were able to affect them so much and grow in effectiveness so much. Moving forward. Oh, I know Naya also said that he didn't really necessarily like this part, or that they tried to like justify quote unquote what Merlin was doing by adding this little panel. But Rudishell says, "I pray I never have her as an enemy." What are your thoughts?
Don't mess with Merlin.
She can't do it. She can't do it.
It's a cheap tactic that a lot of creators try to use to make their shit seem self-aware, whereas like, you see, this character's broken, I know that, it's funny because I'm aware. Like, no, you're not clever, that's just stupid. Like, you're not fooling anyone.
This nigga man.
Like, I really do this. Like, no, I hate people, like I know what I'm reading. Like, this is not clever, it's not funny. It's a fake cop-out to be like, well, you see, it's intentional, therefore it's actually quite brilliant, and that's indubitably.
Here's my opinion of that. Chapter 292, Merlin versus the Demon King. And guess who's gonna win?
The fucking Merlin. Merlin's winning.
Infinity. I'm gonna stack 99 demon spells plus a blessing from the Supreme Deity.
That still doesn't make sense if she couldn't do it to the power of God. Why would she do it to the ruler?
If she
She
could
had
have
to
done...
wait a while, because that's why she cast a double impact.
No, yeah. dude, given the Demon King of Rulers an asspool. If you wanna do...
No, that's an asspool? Come on, bro. That's why I said the other day, like, when we question these skills, like, what are we really questioning?
So does the Supreme Deity also have a resistance to infinity? Because if she does, then, okay, that's the only reason Merlin is not God of the universe at this point. That's all I'm saying.
They probably have the power to take it away from her as well.
And we saw Meliodas. We saw Meliodas break through the ruler.
Griever, remember we said this earlier? That's true, but I would be surprised was like, well, and you mean this blessing. What you didn't realize is that a blessing, the way that it works, is like the same way a prayer works in Hunter x Hunter. I don't need my hands to pray, I pray to my heart. The blessing was given to me, therefore it can't be revoked. Like she could say something like that, and y'all niggas will eat that up and be like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course, yeah, it makes sense. It's a blessing. It's not like no, I'm not giving you that because the Demon King could say that, and she could be like, nah, because of this and that, and I'd be like, well, fuck, it's Merlin.
Wait. What are you even talking about? Because that's how powerful. Get out of here with that shit.
No, the point is you could say that, but the fact of the matter is she has so many cop-outs where you're like, no, you can't revoke this because X, Y, and Z or the other, and we've already seen it happening, and if you guys are eating that up, you would eat that up too. You're giving him a pass where he doesn't deserve one.
All right.
Yeah, like.
Hold on, because we're getting like too rowdy. From the beginning. Hold on. Sorry. We have.
What are you trying to say?
Hold on. We have justifications for things. We've been told about her powers, and she hasn't pulled out anything crazy. What we're disputing about. Hold on. What we're disputing about is.
This was definitely what I would classify as crazy.
What we're disputing is that the result of what she done is too excessive. We can all agree that she has the ability, because it was told to us several chapters ago, to evade or to deal with what Kusak did. We all know that she has almost a very large amount of spells, so her doing new shit isn't new either. And we know that she has the power of infinity to cast things and not to have to cast them again. So those things are not new. Nothing else new was introduced besides more spells. So what we're arguing about is the result of what all this did. I can understand that it is excessive. And like I said, I agree that with the hype that we got for Kusak and Chandler, to have this single individual do this much really makes us lean on the fact that two gods wanted her. So it solidifies that even more. But we can all understand the issues and rally points. My issue is when we come to start questioning certain base things in the story. Like, for example, why Merlin shouldn't be able to beat the Demon King. We have things to explain that already. That's my only problem. Besides that, I can agree on disagreeing 100%. But we can't say that there are certain powers in here that are just stupid or that don't work. They've been explained pretty consistently, and he's done an exceptional job of not breaking his scaling.
Power Amplify should not have destroyed it. The Exterminate Ray battle between Chandler and Merlin. Power Amplify should have not have overcome Chandler.
It didn't.
That's a fact.
She didn't use Power Amplify.
Yeah, that's exactly what she used.
I thought it was Enchant Infinity.
Exterminate Ray, Power Amplify with the Sacred Treasure. That's what she used. Power Amplify is Kaioken. Kaioken times 10.
In the official release?
No, it was just said Enchant Infinity.
Okay, so it's Enchant Infinity.
So then why can't she use Exterminate Ray on the Demon King? Oh wait, the ruler. The only reason Merlin's not God of the Universe. You guys are breaking your own fucking rules. It's stupid. Like, Meliodas can Zeldris is the ruler by going Hellblaze, fuck you, throws in Zeldris with no issue, and Zeldris can even say the Demon King's power isn't working. What the fuck is going on? But Merlin can't do it? What? With infinity?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that two instances, both the Demon King and him, and actually Zeldris himself, mentioned turning on the power of the ruler. The Demon King also mentioned turning and the power of God, and the Demon King actually mentioned being able to turn it off.
Holy fuck, this didn't work. He was using the ruler, and it didn't work because Meliodas was so.
No, that's not what I'm pointing out. I'm saying that if they've both shown the ability to be able to turn it on and off, why is it a question when it works for in some instances and it works in other instances? That's my only thing. Like I can agree that the result of what she's doing is too much, but there has been zero inconsistencies in her powers. They told us she can do this. It's too much. She's done too much. She should not have been able to do this, but they told us.
It should not be attack power 1 times infinity. It should never work that way.
Griever, I will do that.
Never know exactly how it works.
When you did bring up the fact that, like, when it comes to resistance, like different elements and everything, like that probably should have been harkened on a little bit more. I feel like we should have more exposition on like the characters, like when fighting them. When you said like, oh, Gallon like is more resistant, like lightning is, or like like other characters have like certain resistance for certain spells or certain attributes. I do agree with you. That should have been brought up because it has been shown time to time, but it's never really too specifically focused on. And like the fact that they're I guess like parking it back with Merlin now is, I guess, like, to me at least, it's a showcase of, it's like, hey, like there are rules to magic in the series. It's like the one person who like these rules would I guess be like tossed on, or I guess like more focused on would be Merlin, because they normally are. Like before, it was like her being stupidly powerful, her coming through. It's like, I got this and I got that, I got magical item, and now it's like, now I'm getting into the nitty gritty, using like several different abilities on top of different abilities within different abilities, and spamming abilities, because where I can just spam mad moves, kid, and this is it. But I do agree, the bit of resistance, that's something that we should have seen more of. But there's a lot of different facets of magic that we should have seen more of in the series, that like we don't normally get to see consistently overall. But when it comes to Merlin, these things pop up, and she's the one who her advantage more than anyone else. Have you guys heard of the replication theory? It's like this real life thing. I don't think that's the exact name, but it's like
if you make a little small robot or a nano robot that can make a copy of itself, like an exact copy of itself, they will take over the world in, I believe it was like less than a day, something like that. One makes itself, then those two make another one of themselves, then those four make another one of themselves, then those 8 make another one of themselves, continuously on. And I believe the trend was like in 4 hours they're the size of the human population. No, in like 4 minutes to the size of the human population. In like 4 hours they cover the entire planet. In like 12 hours they can reach from here to the moon. It was like things like that, the exponential growth. So if they told us that she casted a spell that casts spells whenever they do something, so whenever they take a left step, it casts a lightning spell, and then she puts infinity on it, it will continue to cast infinity. Excuse me, it will continue to cast those lightning spells. So you take a step, lightning. She can. But they will not work.
Why?
Try and
No, but why was the Ten Commandments a threat then? Why didn't she? If she can do this to Chandler and Cusack, who are easily stronger than the Ten Commandments, why were they worried at the beginning of the series?
Because of
Makes no damn
weaknesses.
sense. You're gonna give me that whole I forgot I was immune to fucking commandments bullshit to me again? Because I'll already give an explanation on why that's crap.
I mean,
So
it's not even just don't do like for a good minute she was out. Like she only came back the minute like the demons started attacking again, and that was like what up until like Griever started doing his weird Griever show. Like she showed up then. She didn't show up when Esteros was there. When Derriere and Moonspeed were there. She didn't show up when the commandments were just running.
she should have. That's my point. She should have been able.
Just turned to stone. Like what did you? Like,
All right, hold on, Zarzo, hold on, because this is like
I'm gonna argue
hijacking.
the fact that she was turned to stone because that's another fucking bullshit.
Yeah, this is hijacking the stream and shit. Let's move on forward from this.
Yeah, let's move on with the chapter.
Yeah.
So basically, from what I'm reading, she attacks them. We've already discussed the lightning and all the spell stacking and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna hit on to Gil Thunder and Hendrickson.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think this is fucked up. I think that what Hendrickson, yeah. Like, drop your viewpoint. I think that like what Rudisell said makes 100% sense. 100%. If you were in that position and you had the same like relationship with those individuals, I think that would be the logical way in which you would approach that. But please give me your opinions.
He's an ass to his allies.
Yeah, definitely. Like, seriously? Oh, he wasn't protected. Asshole. You think he'd be fucking like alive right now without him? Like, serious? Like, I'm like. Just
Yes.
come on.
He said that.
No.
He literally said that. He said that. Why did you get in the way? Did you not think I could dodge that?
He
Literally said that. He literally said that.
Yeah, well, that was Hendrickson, and
That was for Henderson, not Gil Thunder. Gil Thunder literally came through. And remember, and this is after the show. Guy's ass whooped by Zeldris. His sword broken. Everything got slapped, and then Gil Thunder comes through. And it's
This is literally the fastest person on the battlefield. Literally said to move at the speed of light.
except that Omnibus Nebula was faster, and so was Cusack. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like,
When was Cusack faster than
We
Rudisell?
have two explanations of two people faster out of this.
When was Cusack faster than
Bronze
Rudisell?
medal, man. Bronze medal at best.
When was Cusack faster than Rudisell?
The fact that he beat him in a contest of swinging.
Oh, so he's a better
Headbutted-
swordsman?
They were slashing at each other. He dodged it, and then he headbutted him. What more do you
That
want?
was last chapter.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay, so does that mean that Cusack moves faster than the speed of light?
I don't know. Is the Grace of Flash faster than the speed of light? Then yes, he's faster than Rudescule.
Griever.
Once
with
again,
some
that doesn't
people-
make sense.
Griever, with some people, if you don't literally state it in text, they'll never buy it. They don't understand that manga is a medium of art and literature.
Yeah.
You showed me that he could compete with him in terms of speed.
Yes.
No, but he's fast. Like, no. I saw the last fucking chapter. What happened?
Yeah.
Naya Unbound.
Yeah, that was swordsmanship, not speed. Hold on, let me point this out then. So the one other feat that we got for the speed of light was the nebula thing, right?
They went toe to toe.
Rayleigh is not as fast. Rayleigh is not as fast as Kizaru, even though they clashed with legs and swords. He's not as fast.
So Cusack's faster than Zeldris, correct?
It wasn't said that Rayleigh can move at the speed of light. Rayleigh doesn't have the Pika Pika no Mi me, so he's not as fast as Kishin.
Hold on, no. Rayleigh specifically stated that he couldn't move that fast, and that's why he had to use the hockey to compensate to predict where he was going to be, so he could be there.
Yeah, it sounds like we're getting a little bit too out of hand, so we should like adjust ourselves.
In other words, it takes skill, and clearly Cusack is better than Mudasho. Like, you can't even deny this point. Like,
Yeah, you can't deny it.
Like, sure.
We're not talking about skill. We're talking about speed. And the fact that it said that he was the Flash works at the speed of light. Somebody gets in the way of that and then fights him with a sword, and then he did a good job of fighting with a sword, superior swordsmanship. But he was indeed proven with Zeldris as well that Zeldris also went toe to toe with him, and he didn't come out on top.
Hockey and Nanatsu, so the fact that they went toe to toe with the speed of their swordsmanship means that they're going straight up toe to toe with the speed of their swordsmanship.
Not that they're as fast as light.
Toe to toe with the speed of the swordsmanship. So forget it. Cusack still headbutted and won the battle.
What is the speed? Well, I mean.
So Redesio went up to Cusack and said, "I'm not going to use the Grace of Flash while I fight this dude." And he went boom, 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 and then got headbutted. He's like, "Oh, damn! I should have used the Grace of Flash there. That might have really fucking helped."
Well, let me ask a question.
Yes.
Can he only apply? Can he apply that speed to every movement, or can he just? Are only his magical attacks that fast?
Why, if Cusack is faster than the speed of light, then why hasn't he been stopping everything?
Well, then, so what?
Why hasn't he been flying around just dealing with everybody? If he was faster than light, why didn't he jump behind Escanor when Zeldris was being killed?
Because he's too slow.
Why didn't he, instead of having Rudisell smash through him, why didn't he come up and stop Rudisell? If he was faster than light. If he travels faster than Rudisell, faster than the Flash, faster than that was actually said to be the fastest thing there, why hasn't he been saving Zeldris? If we're going to use those same examples as to why Rudisell didn't do this or that, then why hasn't Cusack done those things?
Faster than the speed of light. Ominous Nebula is faster than the speed of light.
That's not Zeldris. Zeldris isn't moving faster than the speed of light. His technique is. His technique is.
Ominous Nebula is moving faster than the speed of light, and apparently the faster than the speed of light can't stop a vacuum. So, like, dude, they're
Ominous, that's not.
What?
It's like continually flowing. It's not like
What do you
it's
mean?
like lashing out.
We're talking about the speed of the individual. I said that Rudisell was the fastest person there. You said that no, Cusack is faster. Then we gave examples as to how Cusack is not faster. You tried to give examples as to how Cusack matched Rudisell. We matched it by saying that was a sword fight and not moving around.
I didn't agree with their points. I did not agree with that. Cusack was faster in a toe-to-toe match with that, and I mean, by this logic, hey, your logic of Cusack not intervening if he's faster than the speed of light is my argument for why Merlin didn't do this shit for every fucking major battle in the series.
You know what's even worse? You know what's even worse? You had a technique that comes out of your eyes, and he dodged it. That is embarrassing.
He didn't dodge the fucking headbutt, did he?
But dodge the lasers. He dodged lasers.
I said comparable. Personally, I didn't.
Oh, no problem, bro.
At the end of the day, he pulled up.
No doubt.
They went toe to toe. As
far as that,
And he came out on top. Of course. Cusack came out on top. Of course. We're not arguing that.
It's definitely arguable.
We're arguing whether who's the fastest.
That's not arguable. That literally happened. That's fact.
Yeah.
This reminds me of something from an old Justice League episode. It was Green Lantern versus the Flash. Now, who do you think would win that fight?
The Flash.
Okay, but that's
No,
no.
Green
That's
Lantern
no. That's vague. Which Flash? Which Green Lantern? Who are we talking about? I know what episode you're talking about, but for me, it's deeper than that. You gotta tell me: is it Wally West? Is it Barry Allen? Is it Jay Garrick? You know what I'm saying? Is it John Stewart? Is it Jessica Cruz? Like you can't just tell me a random Green Lantern.
It was Stewart versus Barry.
I know what you're talking about. I'm saying for me, I know comics. It's deeper than that. You can't just pull up Green Lantern and be like, well, everybody who's part of the Lantern Corps is technically a Green Lantern.
Come on.
You could say Kilowog. Kilowog's a Green Lantern. I'm saying you have to be more specific. I'm saying he's lucky. I know what he's talking about because I watched Justice League. At the end of the day, it's not that simple. Though. Continue.
When you're looking at the panels, the speed of their swordsmanship is relatively equal.
Yeah, like there's no real like debate there.
It is.
That's not what we're talking about.
And going toe to toe
Wait,
and
wait,
starts talking shit
Kishin.
after
Continue your point.
Rudisell's weapon is beaten down to nothing, and then save the point.
I didn't mean to cut him off. Continue your point.
No,
Green Lantern, Flash. Continue.
Well, it's that who thinks faster? Just because your body moves doesn't mean that your mind is coordinating with that high amount of speed. So maybe that is the element that we have not discussed in this speed battle.
The only reason why I will disagree with you on the comic book side is because in the comics, Flash can think as fast as he moves. Not in Justice League. I understand. That's different. Comics, he can do that.
In One Piece, Luffy post time skip dodged pacifistus lasers. We all know what lasers do, and we all know what that weapon was modeled after. That is one of the common implications in one of the big stories, because this happens in a lot of stories where we're given a feat, and because somebody matches it or something similar to it, they're as much as that, or they're as good as that, when it's not the same. We all know that Luffy cannot move at the speed of light, but he dodged the laser. Things like that happen. We all know Luffy can't move at the speed of light.
No, but he's got observation hockey, so once again, it's pointed out by the rarely Kizaru, it doesn't matter. You can match it if you have enough hockey, you match it, so that's not a comparable feat.
Griever, if you're standing in a room and I turn on a light, it doesn't matter if you know that I'm going to turn the light on. You're getting light bounce off of you because you're not faster than light. That's what we're talking about. That because it's a laser and it moves with the... Hold on. Hold on.
There you go.
Before you touch the lights.
Are we trolling or like were you being serious?
No, I'm not trolling. What I'm saying is it was brought up that...
Okay, then hold on. Then hold on.
Rayleigh does not move at the speed of light, right? He does not move as fast as Kizaru, right? But he compensated matching the blow for blow by using a combination of armor...
Once again, that's swordsmanship.
Hockey. So, no, but hockey, nonetheless, he used hockey to compensate for the...
Okay, so then I see the misunderstanding. Just because you can deal with something that somebody has does not mean that you have the equal to it. There is not one person in One Piece who is as fast as Kizaru. There is not one. But Whitebeard did indeed do an attack at Kizaru, and he had to dodge out of the way. That happened. Is Whitebeard moving at the speed of light? No, he is not. He's clearly not. Luffy dodged lasers. Just like I gave the example. If you're stuck in a room and you know I'm going to turn the light off, it doesn't matter if you know that I'm going to turn the light on. You're going to get hit by the light. That's how it works, because the light is faster than you. So what I'm simply pointing out is that this individual...
You're not as fast as the light.
Right.
I mean, in your scenario, you are not faster than light when you turn the switch on. So I could stop you.
You guys are focusing on the analogy. I'm talking about the fact... Hold on. I'm talking about the fact that if a certain thing surpasses you in a speed you cannot match, it doesn't matter if you know what's going to happen beforehand. At the speed of light only. That's what we're talking about. That's why I said the word light in the room, and that's what we're talking about Flash with Rudisell, because they both move at the same exact speed, the speed of light. That's why I mentioned, just because you know for a fact that the daytime is coming or something like that, doesn't mean that you can avoid it. There's some certain things you cannot do as a physical object. In the story of 7 Deadly Sins, the fastest thing that we know are him moving at the speed of light, the grace of Flash, and now the speed at which Albinus Nebula works. Those are the only things that are above that. But we've seen plenty of people fight with people that are faster than them. Guild Thunder literally has... You could call Guild Thunder a fucking... that moves at 200,000 or 2,000 miles per hour or whatever, shit like that. The speed of lightning or whatever. You could say that because we've seen those speeds consistent like that. But people that are not that fast, we're dealing with his swordsmanship. That's been consistent even in the very same series. So you shouldn't use that example that because somebody can deal with something they could do, that they're that as strong.
Then Rudesiel turned Flash off when he got headbutted. Because he's not as fast. He wasn't fast enough to dodge it. Like I don't get the point. Is the Grace of Flash on all the time or not?
Attack was keeled over him because he just got punched in the stomach.
Come on.
And how did he?
Esterosa,
Oh my god.
Next.
Esterosa stood next to Escanor while he was melting armor and swords. Why was Esterosa's clothes falling off?
He was keeled over with his head literally right above his head. He barely even moved.
He keeled over. Like I'm not cheating on.
No.
Let's move on. Just move on.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, so
That shit got credulous as fuck. That shit got real. Hold on. That shit got credulous as fuck.
And I'm sorry. Sam Cusack is sealed over because Rudisiel punched him in the stomach.
You cut
what your point
you cut out there at the end.
Moving as fast as he's moving. Like, what's the point here?
Barely had to move his fucking head to headbutt him. So what's this argument about reaction speed when he's like literally in the middle of talking shit when Cusack headbutts him?
Oh, he's not fast enough to dodge it.
All right, yeah, we're gonna move. Yeah, let's we're gonna push on then, because that's like so that's creditless.
That's why I said just move on. We're not gonna agree. Like, just move on.
Yeah, so we're
like,
on to...
like what I'm saying to you probably sounds dumb. What you said sounds fucking brain dead. Let's just move on.
All
We
right.
have Resonant. We have Resonant with Cusack on Merlin. Let's move on to that.
Hold on. We're gonna go back to the guilt and the thing.
Oh, okay.
So what's up with this character, man? Like, are we gonna like quick prediction as to what his relevance is? Like I said, I was saying earlier, I don't think that what Rudisell said to him was bullshit. It's obvious that Guild Thunder has no like reason or affiliation with Rudisell himself. He's doing these things to protect Margaret. He got in the way to protect Margaret. And he already healed him before. He was indeed courteous to, he healed Hendrickson before, who was doing this shit. He was indeed courteous. So I don't think it's that, like, he's an asshole to his friends, like Kishin pointed out earlier. I think it's that, just like he said, he needs to conserve his energy for this fight. It doesn't matter if fucking Guild Thunder's healed, if Rudisell's fucking at half strength, they're all gonna die.
He didn't know, yeah, but he didn't know that Zeldris was going to get up and do that. So that's asinine to me. Right now we see Merlin, and you said it yourself, Grimm. You might not agree with the result, but the result of the fact is that she is game sharking these people. So what's there to fear? Why does he need to conserve his strength? Like, by the sounds of it, Chandler's Black Knight is going to be gone pretty soon, and Escanor will be in fucking 1230 mode if she actually succeeds in destroying their bodies as she claimed. So, like, why does he or she, whatever the fuck, that's weird, but why does Rudesiel need to conserve energy at that point? Like, because he doesn't know that, and if that's the case, why is he attacking Zeldris right now? Why isn't he split bits in him right now? Like, he only did it once he got in the way. But he's like, oh, I'm going to conserve my energy. There's 1/3 member there. No, I'll wait until he does something. Then I'll use my energy. Yeah. Like, that doesn't make sense. At least not to me.
Are you saying it doesn't make sense that Rudisell wasn't doing something as Merlin was doing something?
As Merlin was, like, bombarding the other guys with crap and fucking magic.
Yeah, like, how many panels do you want, bro? Like,
go step
No. What I mean is that her like, we cut away to rationalize him not healing Guild Thunder, but we're not cutting away to the fact that Rudesiel can attack at the same time. I know this is manga, I get what you guys are saying, but you can see two people attacking at the same time in one manga panel. It's not a big deal. Like, he literally waited until Zeldris decided to do an attack, and you might call that.
He waited till Zeldris was like staggering from his injuries to attack him. Every time he hit him, because Zeldris was kind of out of position.
Exactly. Rudesiel is not GOAT. Rudesiel is trash. Rudesiel is GOAT before GOAT was a thing.
No,
GOAT
I give
used to be the
I
sacrificial lamb.
give him credit because a W's a W. I'm not that nigga. Zeldris lost in the end of the day. I won't do that. I'm not creditless like that. If you lose, you lose. I'm not gonna. Cause it was a 3-on-3. You lost at the end of the day. It is what it is, right? But my point is that, I mean, yeah, like you said, it could be smart to do that. But I mean, every time that he landed a clean hit on him, with the exception of the first time they're trying to show off their sword speed, it's like, oh, what's that? He got hit with a Shigan, attack. What's that? He's staggering, I'm about to attack. I'm like, bro, you ain't.
that sounds opportunistic as fuck.
But like I said, I only believe in wins and losses. I don't want to hear all the semantics. You lost.
He's Blake Gate, Tom Brady. Next, let's move on.
You lost. It is what it is. Like I said, it hurt me to see. Sad as fuck, but fuck, you know. It happens.
I mean, Chandler and Cusack were like, they were there standing up immediately after he said this. So like, it's not like they were out of the fight. Especially Cusack himself, who was standing up, and then he activated resonance after this. So I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, oh, he could have done more stuff in between. Also with the panel stuff, like, there's only gonna be certain focuses in a chapter. He like, even with for example the Nah, that's kind of like too far of an example. But yeah, it was obvious that this is the main focus of the chapter, man. Like I said, I personally, if it was in my position, if I was Rudisell, I don't necessarily have an affiliation with either of them. They both are going to be vessels for me to move forward, and my main priority is to stop of the war. So if I don't have enough energy to stop the war, then it doesn't matter if they're healed or not. So I can see that viewpoint, but then I can also see the point where, like, they have an affiliation with each other. This guy seemingly did this to protect the vessel that you're in, so it helps you regardless. Why not heal him? But I don't know. It turns out
he different. He don't really care like that. His concern is the war. He doesn't care about this nigga and the bitch.
It's trash.
I mean, normally you would admire something like that, cause a lot of times you get that whole like a main character will do some dumb bullshit
I don't
for
think
emotions.
that makes him a good or bad guy. Like, that's fine. I'm just saying. End of the day, he has his priority. What?
Yeah.
You killed my brother, or whatever archangel the case may be. Yo, fuck the demons. I have my goal. I did it. It's done. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, can you please heal Gil Thunder? I mean, he was out here trying to protect Margaret. He don't care about me. Like, what the fuck should I care about him? Like, that's just like, that's just kind of how we approached it. I am mad at him for it. It is what it is. I mean, he not wrong.
He's what I'm saying. Like, I see the asshole, but like he's.
But it's like you wouldn't expect an angel or a celestial being to say something like that to you. You would expect that from a demon.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember the horn?
That's where
The horn is
that's
talking
where
shit too.
The line blurs a little. It's a little gray area,
But it's not just him though. Like we gotta state, like, Tarmio and Elizabeth are almost two exceptions, and Sario being the lesser of the exception. Because remember the horn back in the day, them niggas was trying to kill Meliodas and shit. So they bought that shit. Fucking the troll queen, that bitch is also
Murder game.
yeah, the troll queen, she was an angel and shit. She possessed that troll or whatever. She was on some murder shit too. Like, they've been shown for a while from the beginning actually to be some devious ass fuck niggas, bro. Like, for real, bro. They on that shit. Even Rudis himself with the first genocide with his Omega arc and shit. Termio and Sario were there to support him, bro. Like, just as much as Rudis cast that magic, them other two niggas, they was there to defend him while he casted that magic. So
I agree.
yeah, the angels ain't they some assholes. They is. This is probably, like, I guess, expected. Should we say it's expected or no?
I think that there's enough hints to know that this was the case. Because he just did, they're just different. It's like, you don't expect this from a kind of celestial being, but at the same time, if you've been paying attention to a lot of their actions, even when that one dude, I can't remember the name of the girl, he like channeled one of them. She had big ass titties. I remember her name was. She was like, who? Fuck that! I'm out. Like they're not.
Oh, Nerobasta.
Yeah, they're not as honorable as you would think, or they're not as like angelic as you would think. So I think that there's enough hints there for us to kind of gather that.
That was so fucked up, bro. Denzel gave his life and that bitch ran.
Yeah, like Elizabeth for sure.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that, because I'm pissed about that. Denzel should have had a way better send-off. That did nothing for the story. All that showed is that the goddesses are cowards. That's all it showed.
And honestly, because
You're cutting out, bro.
who put Leonis on the map? If it wasn't Bartra, who's putting Leonis on the map? It had to be that boy Denzel, because that boy Denzel's old as all fucking out here. It's all like,
Yeah, they're
like
brothers.
that. Y'all gonna do dirty like that? It's like, come on, bro. It's like, and it was like a big titty goddess too. And it was like, what's she doing?
Yo, I love her, bro. That was the bitch that was with Rudis back in the day too.
Yeah, but it's like, you're like, why? Ow, like, look at you being stupid. And so in a grown man's body too. Like, that's just like, that's insult to injury. It's like, yo, what are you doing? Come on.
Like, I think it was like 3 chapters ago when he's talking about the fit that Zeldris had on the cover page. I gotta point out, I love fucking Escanor's belt, bro. That's that real nigga fit. It looks trash right here on page 12 at the bottom. Trash as fuck with the small ass chest and shit. But when he's big, my nigga, we need that shit, bro.
I also noticed that the right that he used to fucking hit with fucking Rita that like got all torn up and everything is actually fixed again. And I guess that's because like it's also like magical, like the rest of their clothes that Merlin. Because like I think Diane said that like they repair whenever they get torn. But I thought it was just for hers. I didn't think it was for everyone else's.
Hold up, Diane's clothes repair when it gets torn?
Remember when like the fucking Holy War started and everything, and they started like going each other. They're all talking about their new shit. she was fucking jump up and down and shit. And that
Hey,
was
yo,
one of the things she said.
can you leave and come back? You keep cutting out.
Is that me?
Yeah. Like adjust your connection or something.
Fuck. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, like when their new clothes are being, introduced, and Floyd War was start, like Diane was jump up and down. Like that's one of the first things she said was that like her clothes will repair. But I didn't think that was something that like all of their clothes would do. So I guess it is.
Got some more Merlin fan service too on that same page. Nakaba coming through. Let me see.
Okay, so are we on like we're at page 13, aren't we, Grimm?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I just wanted to say one of the issues that I had, as I said, like with everything else, that this is a minor thing, but the fact of the matter is, Supreme Deity's blessing and strengthening of spirit and soul or whatever, like it's also like within these pages, it's telling me that okay, your resistance to not only the Ten Commandments, which are absolute even to their own users, okay, then you're resistant to curses. Now you're resistant to the specific abilities of elder demons.
That was addressed in the previous chapter 249 that they have. She has protection from the deity given to her against dark curses, and this would classify as one. Plus the spirit enchantment spell. Or excuse me, the spirit fortification spell. Which I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier or in the previous podcast, but this confirms that we now have a way to increase every single attribute in the power scaling. Power amplifies your magic. The full size amplifies your strength. That's the thing that Merlin uses to increase Diane's size. I don't believe it's called that. And then this one here, which amplifies your spirit.
Can I ask you something?
What's up, baby? I mean, what's up, bro?
So, I kind of asked this before, but I wanna ask you, what makes a character that can, in a series where most conflicts are settled by combat, fisticuffs, whatever you want to call it, magic, fucking abracadabra, flipendo, whatever you want to call it, a character that can just always do all of that at any given time with like very minimal difficulty. Why? How was that interesting to you?
You don't like to see a small child punch a very powerful demon in the face? That's amusing as fuck to me.
If the context, if within the context, if it makes sense and it's believable and it was well established, sure. I don't even hate that mind shit. I'll give you that part too. That shit don't bother me. I promise you, the amount of stupidity she pulled out on that fucking magical field with this, that, elements, untraceable, redo this, weaken your resistance, like the common, it's the literal piling of all of that nonsense in one scene to me where I'm like, come on, bro. Like there's no way you read that and went, so satisfying. Like
the whole thing feels this feels like Nakaba played like a Final Fantasy VII game or a Final Fantasy game or some JRPG and decided I really need to add everything into that story in the next chapter right fucking now. I need regen, I need invincibility, I need invisibility, I need limit breaks, I need elemental contribution, I need
buffs,
everything.
I need item resistance,
I need debuffs, I need debuffs, I need rebuffs, I need everything.
Boost. I need defense boost, resistance, weaken. Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, like I think it would have been way more interesting if, like, Chandler's and as we've seen, we already established Cusack's resonance. It would have been better if this had been gone more like the Dreyfus Gother thing. It would have been kind of cooler, like, to have them in stasis for a little bit, and then continue. Like, I'm happy that the fight, in my opinion, is over. But at the same time, it would have been cool if she had been locked into that and had to break out of it. Like, blessing and spirit fortification and whatever the fuck, nothing. She still should need to try. In the same sense that King, at 200 or whatever K you want to call him, still needs to exert a certain amount of stamina and magical ability. So I would just like to see Merlin have to, because we saw her lead up to this point, even with Infinity, even with these blessings, she still has been thwarted, walled, and had to try. So it would have been nice in this chapter just to see her have to try against Resonance. If nothing else, I guess that's like we're always going to argue about the Merlin broken thing, but at least in this context, I'd like to see Merlin have to struggle a little bit on top, but struggle against Resonance. I think that would have been a better play.
In the
Okay, hold up, real quick.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Really?
Go ahead.
All right. I was gonna say real quick, Griever. I would say I disagree only because at the end of the day, Merlin seems to just keep like. Here's the thing: she's like, we all know that she's old as shit. We all know that she's like really smart and everything. But like, it kind of just keeps like proving itself time and time again. I feel because it's like every single thing that's happened, she's kind of like learned from. Like at one point or another, it's like, okay, don't get caught up by commandments. Like fucking just like 2 seconds after meeting a commandment, or oh, there was a dark curse on Arthur. Probably should make sure that if I face off against the demons that did him in, that I don't want that to happen to me. Might want to prepare myself for that. Might also want to prepare for like say anything else, like say like like they come through and like they're say unbeatable. May want to test out like hell any spell I can think of. It's like yeah, her like her own story a bit of credence. It's like you can't just say like she can just do all this stuff and it's like she's renowned for a reason.
She's been explained to have to be. It supports it. We can't say that like we don't have background information for her to do this type of shit. They're just complaining that it's too much. We can't really change that. But like hold on. I was gonna say like.
I was gonna say is
okay. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say is that like do agree with you that when it comes to like I guess essentially like her magicking her way out of different scenarios and everything. If they were to like put more of an emphasis on that and like essentially have to have her try and like prove that if she does things in a certain way and essentially like use like and say use like the magicism to her advantage and like and again like put like the difficulty a little bit higher and just raise the bar for her, it'd be better. But again, like this is just what we get because she wasn't there for most of the fights.
The most broken thing Merlin has done is in the betrayal of the 7 deadly sins when the capital of Leonis was tricked into believing that they committed a sin and killed Grandmaster Zaratras. Merlin removed the power of one of the strongest demons that exists, and then he was without it for a long time period. Remember it. After that, she entered Leonis with King Arthur, was threatened by Hendrickson, a strong fighter, and 3 other holy knights that were with him, and she didn't lift a finger to assist him in the fight. A cherished and protected individual to her that even to this day she feels love for him. We cannot say that because she didn't take action or do this and that way back in the story that she didn't have interest to do it, or that she just didn't want to do it, or that it was an ass pull. That's been the entire time. Like we said earlier, she doesn't get into that many scuffles. She really doesn't. So for a fact is that this bitch who's been hyped up to be literally on the same level as Cusack and Chandler comparably, because guess what? Two gods gave secrets of the underworld, protection against the strongest of the enemy, not demons, protection against commandments, warriors who you're told were the strongest in the demon army and shit until now, protection against those niggas. She wasn't giving these things like for fun and shit like that. Like those are actual fortifications. Those were gonna be in need. Like the fact is that the things that she was given way in the beginning of the series were for niggas at the end of the series. So we cannot get mad when they start working at the end of the series. There's no nigga here, even Meliodas, doesn't have protection against demons. He doesn't have protection against Breath of Bliss. He doesn't have
We're not gonna agree on this. Whatever. Just keep moving.
God.
I hate these circular conversations where I feel like everyone's just waiting for their turn to talk. Like you guys brought up the darkness and light thing when you use it against whoever the fuck it was. Conceded. There's points you made. Like Zarso made some points. Like you concede. Like you make good points. We're like, okay, yeah, I can give you that. But it's like I feel like sometimes when I debate people, they're just like a fucking wall. Like they're so afraid to be wrong. They're not actually having a conversation. And at this point, this is how I feel. It's gone to. Like I don't care anymore.
Right now, it's
just
one of those.
Just keep it moving, bro.
It's it's one of those overlapping circles where you have 2 circles, like the red and the blue group, and then like you have this little gray area where they overlap, where everybody agrees. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. We can all agree on this. But for the most part, one group's in red, one group's in blue. We're not going to agree.
And nothing's getting done. We're just talking in circles, Just fuck it. Just move on, bro. Fuck it.
I think we can all agree on the lovely panel of Child Merlin giving that wicked
That was
grin.
Sitting.
That was just creepy. That was some grudge level shit.
I liked it. It was all right with.
So, y'all should know me, bro. It's Tyron Grimm. Y'all niggas mad, man, huh? Merlin busting y'all ass and y'all mad, man, huh? Yo, guys, hashtag Merlin Sama. If you fucking with this chapter so far. If you fucking with what's going on so far in this chapter, if you're fucking with like this fight in general, if you like the fact that we're arguing and speculating, fucking like the video and subscribe and shit. Now let's move on to the other parts of the chapter.
Which is
Zeldris, bro. This nigga, bro, she spanned like a shit ton of electric and wind spells and shit, and this nigga just like through all them shit, bro.
That's the ruler. That's the ruler.
Like this nigga.
Not impressed.
This nigga through all of it, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's that nigga,
I'm
man.
not impressed. It's the ruler next.
Like, that's the thing. What you mean, it's the ruler, bro? He cut them shits, bro. We even got slashes.
She created a space where they'd be attacked. He debuffed it with the ruler. I'm not impressed.
That's not what happened.
That's basically what happened, dude.
He went through all the attacks and hit them. That's why there's slash marks and stuff. That's literally why there's lines.
So now it's deactivated, so Chandler and Cusack can move again by that logic. Infinity ain't nothing then.
What?
No, don't give me that.
What?
He said,
Like you just said he had
In the chapter, it said that those spells were active for them, for Chandler and Cusack. That's why it's lightning and wind spells, not for anybody else.
Spells. You just
Yes.
said Zeldris attacked all those spells.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All the thunder and lightning.
Yes.
So or the thunder and wind. So now Cusack and Chandler should be able to move again.
Sure.
Yeah, they should.
Okay, so Infinity nothing. It's not cast anymore. So Infinity does not cast forever because he destroyed the spell.
What?
You have the ability.
He destroyed it with ruler.
Wait. This is something that I was talking about earlier.
The next panel
Bring up.
is Zeldris, and then the response to that. Nobody's moving anymore besides Zeldris. Why would more be spammed or created if the people who they're made for is not moving? That's why I said to reread the chapter, because they said that there's auto-make spells. They auto-make the spell when they move. That's what it said.
Okay, so
I think
so
they stay on standby, and then when they're activated, more.
okay. So then what did Zeldris do by blowing up all those? Like, what does he do? What
It's
does he do?
the same thing as like a when you do like a fireball or like the cruel sun or whatever. How like Meliodas actually hits the attack to reflect or whatever, or like how you can cut through attacks. We've seen people do that. It's the exact same thing. He just went through all of them and made them detonate.
It was irrelevant then,
What do you mean it was relevant then?
because you just said, okay, he attacked all those spells, right? We agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he attacked those spells, but according to you, if Cusack and Chandler try to move, that's gonna auto target and attack them again. So what he did nothing. He just blocked one set. There's another set incoming if they try to fucking move again. So he did nothing.
No, he stopped them from getting hurt, and then he's standing up and prepared to attack
Do it again?
Merlin.
I think the spell is
He
off.
he detonated all the attacks, and then he prepared to attack Merlin. What do we? I think you want imaginary stuff to happen in between panels when we only have 16 to 20 pages. Like, he took the action. He saved them from the explosions, and then he's getting ready to attack Merlin to stop them from happening again.
Alright.
I thought his point originally was the reason why he can do that is because he's like, I don't have magic, and then he staggered. You see, I was like, oh, a moment, like an opening, and then boom, it's done.
You cut out
Yeah,
there in
that's
the
why I
beginning.
took it, because Zeldris staggered and then Rudestiel moved him for the kill. My question is, okay, your logic is that Chandler and Cusack would have been destroyed with the next attack. That's why Zeldris went in and prevented all the thunder and wind from attacking. Okay, fine, dandy, if that's the way you want to look at it. But why wouldn't? But if I see a single spell of lightning or wind attack Cusack or Chandler in the next chapter, I call bullshit, and Zeldris should have just went straight for the kill on Merlin.
Fair enough.
By that logic.
That doesn't make
I'll,
sense.
I'll concede to that. I'll concede to that.
That doesn't make sense.
Because
Well, how doesn't that make
I
sense?
understand what Griever's trying to say.
why would you do something to that affect my ability to cast spells?
No. What I'm saying is your logic is that he destroyed the set of spells that were coming, the thunder and or the lightning and wind that were coming for Cusack and Chandler. Zeldris got up, destroyed them with ruler, whatever. It doesn't matter. He destroyed them. He destroyed that particular set of spells while they were moving, instead of attacking Merlin. So he did that to save them, because by that logic, those spells would have destroyed them.
It says
so in the next chapter, if they take any more damage by these spells and are not dead, then he missed a huge opening by just saying, fuck it, they can take one more hit. I'm going to use this opportunity, which Merlin was shocked at. Rhodesia was shocked at. They were all shocked when Zeldris pulled this stunt that he could have attacked Merlin, that caster of said spells. Slaughtered her.
It says verbatim, this entire space is currently enchanted with a multitude of undetectable and invisible lightning and wind spells, set to automatically react to both your speech and your movements. Any incantations or attacks you make.
What if he's a fire
and
type?
they will continue to be recreated by my power
Take
infinity.
that fire,
Did you want me to read that again?
By that logic, then Chandler and Cusack are going to forever be daunted. And
What do you mean by that logic? That's what the story read. Why did you phrase it like that?
No. Okay. No, by the logic of the chapter, Zeldris or the Demon King are going to have to stand there with the ruler and continuously swipe away wind and thunder, because Chandler and Cusack are just going to continuously die.
I don't think. I think you're reading a little too.
What if he's a normal
will
type?
impact
You don't
itself.
gotta. What if he's a normal type?
That's not
What if he
one
jumps?
spell.
What
Now-
What if he's a?
Now you're trying to
What if he's
troll.
a dual type and none of those spells? I'm so.
What if it's
What
hard?
if
Like,
he's stabilized?
what
What if
are we
he's
really
stabilized?
doing here? Like,
In
I
all-
can't
in all
believe
seriousness,
y'all really
one
defending
spell.
this. I can't believe this.
Alright,
You know,
Hey,
You know,
do not count me in
one-
that.
Alright,
Do
guys.
not count me in that.
we're gonna move on to the last part of the
You're right,
chapter.
you're right. I can't believe it.
Thank you.
So
Defend this.
uh,
This is not
I'm
defendable.
serious. I'm serious.
Alright,
I don't
alright.
think it's too far-fetched that the types or that the weaknesses and whatnot would be a thing, but I agree that it would need, if that's going to be a thing, why the fuck was it not introduced a long ass time ago?
Cause I just my thing is that I feel like people are gonna take it as, oh well, Taizai sucks, and I'm like, no, it's one chapter, like, and I have one issue with one character that's been persisting for a while. I'm not. That doesn't all of a sudden make the series bad or less quality, the case may be. But call a spade a spade. She's a walking Deus Ex Machina. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we defending this? This is.
We should be defending.
We're not defending this. We're just saying that what you're pointing out is not inconsistent. There are different points where she is broken. Like I mentioned, when she took out Meliodas' power, that's broken and that's too much. But this
bitch
is
really
explained
razzing
already.
Meliodas. Like, just win the fight. Like, stop wasting my time and come and deal with everything and end the series. Come on.
Alright.
So
The last
Zeldris
part.
gets attacked.
Hold on.
We're not going to agree on that.
Hold
We're
on,
not gonna agree
hold on,
that. Let's move
hold on,
Let's move
Griever.
on. The end of the chapter.
Um, the last thing that we're gonna get to is, I mentioned in the beginning that the question, who has done more for the Holy War. I think Naya answered it that like they've both put in work. The fight was ended, but I was referring to the fact that this man Zeldris has admired his brother since he was young, to the point that he ascended into the commandments, whether it was to admire his brother or whatever it was. But he's felt just as much of the weight of the Holy War as anybody else, especially with the fact that he's had to sacrifice his beloved, seal her away and shit at the command of the Demon King, while Rudisel having to make similar sacrifices for his loved ones in his past or whatever, has committed atrocities at the hands of the Holy War. So who do you think who do you think has put in more work? Who do you think has been changed or scarred more by this entire aspect? Which one has had more of an impact to their character in general? Is it Zeldris or Rudisel? Because they've both been
Just fighting for revenge, though, really.
He's fighting for his.
I would say Rudisel because he went. Well, I'm saying like Rudisel had more stake in this, like personally, because he was like, aha, I did. Do you see Maya? Like, I avenged it. Fuck these niggas. I killed the brother. Like, the 3 evil stars. Like, and the other's like, nah. Like, I'm not here for all this. I'm here to do what I gotta do. So, but I would say Reduciel is cunning. Like he takes all his openings very well. I gotta give him credit for that. But I would say that the simplicity of Ominous Nebula and the effect that it had to me was impressive. Because it's a very simple technique.
Very simple.
Yeah, it's Gaara's sand.
But
Gaara's sand from Naruto.
yeah,
That's all
yeah.
it is.
It's like I didn't expect it to be like, oh no, you're just moving this darkness that fast. Vortex, get your ass over here, Scorpions, get over here. I was like, damn, is that simple for real? Like I'm thinking it's some super innate cool magic. It's like, nah, I'm just moving my darkness really fast. So it's like in that aspect, simple is good, simple is effective. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. You use something very simple at a high level and made it work for you. So I'm gonna give him all the credit because that's my boy. Man. Woo! But I think everyone put in work here, but obviously the person putting the most work is Merlin. So.
No, but I meant to focus on emotionally, like the impact. Yeah, the story's impact on the war's impact on their story.
Overall is what Grimm's trying
it's
to
a
say.
tie. With that, I would say Zelda's because of the Gelda stuff because that's important to him and. I feel like there's some unresolved stuff with his brother, but I could make the argument for Reduciel as well because of his stake in the Holy War. So I would say, if you choose one of those two, I would feel like you're probably like right, for the most part. Obviously, you can make an argument for anybody to a certain degree, but for him, I would say yeah, those two.
Okay, I'm going to say my piece real quick because I believe the one who put in the most work for all the Holy War is Wheelchair Gother. But if between the two of Reduciel and Zeldris, unfortunately, I think I have to give it to Reduciel because the only reason being is because yes, Zeldris doesn't care and doesn't but it's hard to say because you look at it from one point. If I can fuck off and do a bunch of shit on my own on the side and doing stuff and like if two people have a job to do and it's a really hard job. One person like slacks off, does other things, has more on his mind, has like bills to pay and all that shit, but he still gets the job done. And the other person like tirelessly, 12 hours a day, works at that fucking job. But at the end of the day, the quality is the same. It's hard to say. Like I would say Reduciel has worked harder because he's worked for like he's put in more of the work because he's actually worked towards not only like he's got to live a double life pretty much. He's got to look as the symbol of peace and love and light and all that shit. Meanwhile, he's a genocidal fucking Hitler maniac who wants to eradicate all demons. So I think he's put in more work, whereas Zeldris is just like, yeah, I'm just a successful.
He was more efficient, but Reduciel worked harder. But
right.
In terms of PER, Zeldris has a better PER rating.
Right, exactly. That's the way I look at it. Like Zeldris is the gifted one, Reduciel is the hard worker, and at the end of the day, they both get a 50-50. But he's definitely the harder worker. He worked up to that.
You guys continue to only answer one, bro. It's also what the war has done, like how they've affected the war and how the war has affected them.
I thought the question was about. Wait, you talking about the literal Holy War?
Yeah, the entire thing from the beginning, the most that we know.
You asked who put in more work.
I thought you were talking about this specific fight.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I'll reiterate it because both of y'all. So like
from talking about the Holy War,
the whole entire thing.
I might go with Merlin because like that love got fucked.
Yeah,
I'm putting Wheelchair Gother as number one.
He's up there. He's up there.
I'm putting that boy Rogue. So like he got like gang to fuck up all that.
I think he's also favorite character.
That was pretty impressive.
Like no magic.
I ain't gonna lie. No magic, and yo, fight with no magic in the Holy War. Literally brought like a knife to a gunfight and still went out swinging. Like, are you serious?
Yo, he had a few panels up against an angel, bro, and that angel was putting in some work. And he roll that nigga, bro. Oh, get in that ass.
Whoa, Nanashi top 5. Nanashi top 5. We haven't seen him in a long time, and
Nanashi top 2 panels.
Listen. Nanashi, don't play. Like, I get really mad when I think about it. These humans are like looked down on. But regardless, if I had to consider the two of them, between Ludoshel and Zeldris, overall, Ludoshel just starts trouble. Zeldris is the one who ends it. So So honestly, I'll give it to Zeldris because Zeldris is like Zeldris doesn't play fucking games. Like that's what I like. Niggas who don't play games.
What is that?
They don't play games. Like overall, the one who put in the most work to me, Zeldris. There's no like there's no one else. There's no one else.
But it depends on what you're
Rudisell-
talking about.
Yeah, because to me, like, obviously, I'm gonna say Rudisell, but it's not like it's not for the strength thing. It's more so that like, first there seems to be like some type of racist shit going on, so we know he's mentally affected by whatever's going on with the war. Whether it's that like one of his family members died because of it, or whether it's the supreme deity's brainwashing. Well, something's going on with that. To an extreme degree, he even went as far as to commit genocide. So that's the second part. He's infatuated with the situation and shit. But then you got Zeldris, who literally had to give up his beloved one, and we got like a named, like she was named or whatever and shit like that. So that's gonna be more relevant. She was gonna come back and shit. And his relationship with Meliodas was sacrificed because of the war and shit like that, which that was catastrophic. That can't be reprimanded or that can't be fixed. What else? They've in terms of like killing people, I don't think they've really killed anybody significant. Honestly, I might have to say that they're both even. Cause maybe like the fact that Zeldris was infatuated with his brother, it makes me think that regardless of like how the war was, whatever Meliodas was doing, he was gonna do it. So like I don't really think that it's the war that impacted him that much, with him becoming or him having to become a soldier and shit. So that's the only thing I would say against Zeldris, that like he joined the war basically because he wanted to. He wanted to be just like his brother. But
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck Merlin. Okay.
Last part, we're gonna do panel of the week. Everybody pick one panel that's most badass. My panel, I'm gonna go first, bitch ass.
Zeldris.
No. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first.
Go in order.
Page 18.
Fuck out of Camelot.
Page 18. Rudisell out there. I've won. I finally put it into the holy war with them titties out. With them fucking bro. You see them goddamn titties, bro? Tell me you didn't want to suck on them titties when you saw that.
But I know it's a man. Hey, dude, that's like lifting the skirt of a hot chick and like Mariah Carey or some shit, and realizing that there's a fucking dick under there, man. I'm not interested after that point. Just saying.
I think it's
We
dirty.
are not going to the Kamabaka Kingdom.
I think it's dirty, bro.
Exactly.
Rudisell has a pussy, bro. Stop it.
Oh, come away, baby. Oh, come away.
Just because Rudisill wants the D doesn't mean I'm gonna give it to him.
Nah, bro. I'm gonna give that nigga that D, bro. And grab them them big ass titties. Take that pussy, bro. You already know, bro. You already know, bro.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I give it to the cover page. The cover page because Merlin and Atal. I still love Merlin as a character and everything. She's broken as fuck. She's an Exodia, but still love her as a character. And she's great design and goddamn them titties.
Honestly, I'm gonna. I posted mine. I think it was like page. I don't even know what the page I am on fucking thing right now. I posted it in the thingy. Let's see. It's like page. Yeah, it's probably page like 14. No, it's page. Yeah, it's page 14. Page 14. Taizai when she's on top of fucking Kusak. You assumed you dominated my will, and I was like, oh no, the lollies are attacking. Oh no, they're taking charge. I was scared.
Fuck, I hate lollies.
Yeah,
like,
goddamn
but
lowly
it's
fan
good.
service.
I hate lollies.
I love them. I love them because Taizai.
That's dirty, bro. They out there trying to like.
Yeah,
Taizai
you
knows how
know
to play with them right. It's
wow.
they're awesome.
That says a lot about you.
Yeah, bro.
It does.
That little girl pussy, you're dirty.
So
bro.
much I didn't need to know.
Check out the brothel, bro. The brothel's full of disgusting hentai and shit because of fucking Zarso, bro. It's trash.
I don't know. Like, I thought it was just funny because like Merlin's like smaller form. It's like it's just weird. It's like the fuck, like why? Like that's just what you turned into. It's like you're just a little girl. Like of all the things, like Diane turning smaller with the mushroom, like back in the day, like that was something. But like this is just something else. It's like really. But I don't know. I just found it funny. That was like the one panel I found funny. I thought it was pretty fun.
Nah, nigga, you don't get more than one panel, bro. Go ahead, Naya.
Put that man in jail.
Keep it. Go ahead. Try.
Go ahead, Naya.
Come catch me. Come catch me. I'm ready.
What's your favorite panel, Naya?
Wait, I think it's Kishin's turn.
Oh yeah, go to Kishin. He's sleeping.
Yeah,
Alright,
he
man,
was
I
done
gotta-
with this shit.
He's
Oh,
like,
he's sleeping.
like-
Naya, what's your favorite panel?
the panel of Zeldris defender.
Yeah.
Of course.
That was pretty
Nice,
strong
nice.
too.
That was
Pretty
it.
strong, too.
That's a shock to literally nobody.
No, it's
Listen.
really not.
That's my goal. Okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah, Zelda, he's nice, man.
Nah, you didn't say that earlier. Keep the same energy. You didn't
Hey,
say that
man, I was
earlier.
trolling earlier.
Hey, we don't troll on Zelda.
What about you, Eagle? What's your favorite panel?
Didn't you hear me when I said Cusack's mustache is the goat, man?
I mean,
Yeah,
but that's facts. That's facts.
Get that fucking Fu Manchu out.
That shit is clean.
Dude, Cusack's mustache got two sides. It's got the Dallas Cowboys on one side, the Montreal Canadiens on another side. They're sitting with the most amount of Super Bowls and Stanley Cups on this side of anything. Yeah.
You dig?
Man. I gotta give it to the top panel on page 3 just because we got Cusack and Chandler before they were getting bungled the fuck up. They're looking nice, man. We got Chandler with the arms spread out and the wings up, like
Oh, veined out, bro. Oh, yo, this nigga out here, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in.
yeah.
I I wanted Merlin to pop off, but Merlin, you didn't gotta do them that dirty. You gotta you could let them, you could let them do a couple techniques, a couple fly around a little bit, let them stretch your wings a little bit. Like when I asked, when I was looking for Merlin's stretch your wings, I didn't expect it to do as much. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro, at the bottom of page 3, bro. Those titties at the bottom of page 3, ah, come on, bro. I'm like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that is yeah. Them sneak tits.
Yo, see those titties.
Ultimately, this chapter was whack.
Yep.
Thank you guys for coming. Yo!
Well, I'd be totally okay if that was ended right here, because that was beautiful.
Oh,
Grim's
shit.
like, hey man, chill.
Hey man, we got like
Whoa. I got one thing to say. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. I guarantee you that because I have a device that you all know is called the mouse. That's as far as I go with that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Took me a second.
that shit.
Fuck King of Lightning. That pussy ass fake Taizai reader. That pussy ass fuck ass fanboy shit.
Did he cop out on Taizai? I noticed
He does.
Yeah,
No. He doesn't know. What he does is, and
His
he's
pussy
said it
ass
before,
shit.
is that he is not 100% invested in Taizai. He reads it week to week, but he also reads 10 or 12 different things. But he also doesn't do a Kingdom review week to week.
Well, he doesn't want to invest his channel in it probably because it's
Exactly.
Bro,
He doesn't invest his channel,
don't
but
put
when
up
something
an
hype
informational
happens,
video
he's
about
one
7 deadly sins if you do not read it. Don't put up an informational video about 7 deadly sins if you don't read it every single day. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Every day? I don't even do that.
No.
Every
You don't do content. You don't do content.
every week. Have you not I've been in Cole's streams. I've been. All I'm saying is I've been in Cole's streams before where I've like chatted and stuff. He'll talk about 7 Deadly Sins. He's caught up, dude. I'm caught up on Dr. Stone. I don't review Dr. Stone. I got no Dr. Stone fucking shit on my channel. Doesn't mean I can't talk about Dr. Stone if something fucking hype happens. Like if I wanted to make a video about Dr. Stone right now, you can't call me a fake.
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can. I'm saying, if you make a video as to how something works from Dr. Stone, and you do not cover it on your channel, I'm not watching that video. You're creditless to me. King of Lightning is creditless as fuck to me. I have no reason to believe he knows anything about Taizai. That's another fanboy.
Is this stream done?
Oh, no. No, but it's live. What you mean? This is Tyrant Grimm, nigga. Tyrant Grimm. Spread the word. Spread the word.
I respect it.
What you mean, bro?
You're not fake. We got it.
Like, no, bro. Like, it's that's how I feel, bro. Like, y'all, I told the niggas last stream, like, this is the story, bro. Like, this is the story. That's the only reason why I get to watch, bro. You think I would yell at y'all niggas this much about this type of shit, bro? If I ain't care, bro. Bro, niggas know me from One Piece streams and shit. How I'll go off on anything for anybody, cause I fuck with that shit too. Like, bro, best believe, if you're gonna fucking talk about, oh, Escanor does this, or he can't do that because of that, or oh, we should watch this. Like, no, bro, don't tell me that if I don't see your shit out there, bro. Nah, like I ain't with that shit, bro. To me, as far as I know, the biggest 7 Deadly Sins content creator is Fang Strizer, nigga. That's as far as I know. He don't got nowhere near as many subs as fucking King of Lightning. He don't get the same amount of views, but the nigga gets the most views out of real Taizai niggas. Besides TB, I apologize. TB actually covers it every single time. That's the only other nigga.
Doesn't he cover everything though? Doesn't he cover everything? But I only do it once a month.
Who?
And
Me.
Is it consistent once a month?
I have a discussion once a month for Taizai.
Is it consistent once a month, nigga? Yeah. Then you go.
Yeah,
you straight.
Yeah.
And you're on the Bush Hat podcast every day,
I used
nigga.
to do it weekly, but I couldn't keep up because of like a lot.
Yeah, like, but like Kishin and I also do it weekly. Like we do it weekly. Like we don't have nearly as many subs, and of course my channel got deleted in the summer, so that's a tough loss. I lost all those subs. But at the end of the day, like I just made a theory video right now. It's online right now. You know, so and I did the entire season 2 review and stuff like that.
We're talking about weekly shit. We're talking. You're consecutive, right? You do it up every week, right? You follow 7 Deadly Sins, right? I have no idea or no proof to believe this man follows 7 Deadly Sins. I have no proof to believe that I can go to a certain chapter and mention something that happened in the chapter and he'll know what I'm talking about. Zero belief in that.
I don't.
To be fair, yeah, but to be fair, man, that's like saying that you don't know. Like, if I go up to the guy in the grocery store and I say, "Hey, do you watch anime?" He goes, "Yeah." Like, what anime have you watched? Well, I've watched Bleach, and I expect him to know everything. Like, that's not fair. Like, because I've watched, but see, I know that guy in the grocery store because I've been in Cole's streams. It's same with Tekken 101. Tekken 101 doesn't cover My Hero Academia anymore, but now he does. But he knows a shit ton about My Hero Academia.
The grocery store guy isn't making informational videos about it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the same thing. Like I know.
I think what Grimm is saying is that he seems to be a little bit clout chasing. If something really hype and exciting happens in a manga he doesn't cover, he'll always try to capitalize on it. But no, I don't do that shit. I only cover what I'm passionate about. I don't care what happens in My Hero. I'm not covering it. But like,
no, but
you know, I'm saying that's just me. But I'm saying like in a sense it's kind of smart because like, yo, do what you gotta do. Get your money, I guess, whatever. But it's like from a respect standpoint, I can get where Grimm's coming from, where it's like you don't really do this. So it's like I'm not watching your video on the one.
No. Hey, I watched this video on the one, and I gotta say it wasn't like it was a good video. It was okay. It wasn't necessarily super there was no actual problem. Like no like okay that's weird. Point in that video. I enjoyed that video. My point is that you can't like if these guys are capitalizing on that, you got to remember this is their day job. Like I work as an electrician. I do this on the side because I can't pay my mortgage with YouTube. I only have 27 subscribers.
Nigga, I'm the A&P mechanic. We probably work the same exact hours, and I still I'm on this shit 24/7.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that these guys need to make the views, and YouTube is making that way fucking harder. Look at Joy Boy. Look at everything that's happening right now. These guys.
Hey, yo, leave him alone. Leave Joy Boy alone.
I know. Leave Joy Boy alone, man, because he's not doing anything. And actually, he's the only one who barely ever uses.
Fuck are we doing, bro? Yo!
You should let me end it. My ending was better.
Hey, I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose, bro. Relax.
Relax.
Yo!
That's the booth.